You walk into a supermarket. You see 50 different brands of cereal, dozens of soda options, and an endless wall of snacks. It feels like the ultimate freedom of choice. But what if I told you it's all a beautifully designed illusion? What if the company that owns your favorite soda also owns the competitor, and the grocery store, and the pharmaceutical company you'll need if you drink too much of it? You don't know their names, but they know exactly who you are. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are pulling back the curtain on the greatest magic trick ever played on the American public. We're taught that fierce competition drives the world, but hiding in plain sight are a handful of shadow corporations that own nearly everything you interact with on a daily basis. They don't make physical products. They don't run ad campaigns. Instead, they operate quietly in the background, manipulating global markets, influencing governments, and scripting your daily life. To understand how deep this rabbit hole goes, we have to look at the financial titans known as the Big Three: BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. On paper, they are just asset management firms, but in reality, they are the undisputed kings of the global economy. Combined, they manage over $22 trillion in assets. To put that in perspective, that's more than the entire gross domestic product of almost any country on Earth except the United States. Here's where the illusion of choice shatters. If you want a smartphone, you're probably picking between Apple and Google. But who are the top institutional shareholders of both, BlackRock and Vanguard? Do you prefer Coke or Pepsi? BlackRock and Vanguard own massive stakes in both. You see the exact same pattern in major airlines, banks, media conglomerates, and defense contractors. They aren't betting on a specific horse in the race. They own the racetrack, all the horses, and the stadium itself. And because they own significant chunks of fiercely competing companies, those companies don't actually need to compete anymore. They just need to keep the entire market moving in the same highly profitable direction. But simply owning the world isn't enough. You have to be able to predict it. And this is where things get genuinely terrifying. Behind the locked doors of BlackRock sits a proprietary artificial intelligence system known as Aladdin. Aladdin isn't just a financial tool, it's the central nervous system of the global economy. Every single day, Aladdin processes millions of data points, monitoring the movements of stocks, bonds, global supply chains, and weather patterns. It directs the movement of over $21 trillion. Now, combine Aladdin's economic forecasting with the invisible, unregulated world of data brokers, companies like Axion and Experian. These data giants hold an average of 1,500 data points on every single American adult. They know what you buy, what you watch, who you vote for, your medical history, and exactly how easily you panic. When the financial entities that own the global supply chain merge their capabilities with the entities that perfectly map human psychology, the market is no longer just reacting to what you want. It is actively deciding what you will do next. So, what is the ultimate goal of these shadow giants? Financial experts, tech insiders, and investigative journalists have narrowed it down to three main theories. First is the passive monopoly. This argues there's no evil, smoke-filled boardroom. It's just modern capitalism running on an automated loop. Index funds became incredibly popular. These companies absorbed all the world's wealth automatically, and now they're just maintaining the status quo. They don't want to conquer the world. They just want to quietly collect a management fee on everything in it. The second theory is social engineering. Proponents of this theory point out that BlackRock and Vanguard hold enough voting power to force structural changes in the boardrooms of almost any corporation on Earth. They suggest these firms are bypassing governments entirely to enforce their own global policies, dictating everything from environmental standards to what kind of movies get funded by major studios. If a company doesn't fall in line, the Big Three can sink their stock in seconds. And the third, and most unnerving, is the Aladdin singularity. Some tech insiders whisper that systems like Aladdin have become too complex for even their creators to fully understand. The AI is no longer just predicting the market, it's optimizing it.
In this scenario, human executives are just blindly following the machine's instructions, and the global economy is slowly being reshaped by an algorithm that views human unpredictability as a bug that needs to be patched. The freedom to choose is the core of the American dream, but when the exact same invisible hands are pulling the strings on both sides of the aisle, the stock market, and the media, that dream starts to look a lot like a carefully managed simulation. The next time you make a choice, ask yourself, did you decide, or did the algorithm decide for you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.